All right, here we go. We are starting with Psykers. As said in the description, we are going to be working with the same patron. He is the one who is doing all this. And he has some 3D printed sculpts of the Psykers we are doing today. Today we're going to focus on just doing base coat and general highlights. He did ask for quick and simple. He doesn't want overcomplicated. Other than the main Psyker, it looks like he has like a main character that he's working on. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. Since it is 3D printed, I do see some floating bits here and there. We're going to be cutting those off. It doesn't look so awkward. Like spider webbing. Okay. I've been wanting to add some Psykers of my own into my own regiments. This is pretty cool. See how it goes. Getting mid phone call just as I start the stream. I have to answer that later. I'm quite busy at the moment. So I primed these guys last night. They were just handed to me. And I realized they had a lot of the support stuff still on there. We're gonna clean that up so it looks really nice. We don't want to have those on the model once we start painting. There are little supports that help the model print. That way they are successfully done. All right. I can't tell if that's supposed to be armor, like on the chest piece itself, or if that's a shirt. I think that's an armor plating on his chest. Gotta protect the Psykers too from being shot at. So. Very lovely print too. Okay. Seems like we got a good majority of it. We got some printed plants here. Looks like the person who printed this kind of just tossed in auto supports and didn't really support all of that. Oh, there goes a really brittle plant. Might clean out those. Okay. One of my biggest fears definitely is dropping the model. My goodness gracious. I've yet to find a single resin that has ever survived such a drop. I'm quite tall. Wouldn't say the tallest, but I'm average human height. And yeah, nothing's survived such a drop. And as I said before, I'm a very clumsy person, so I'm afraid of dropping it. Real simple, concrete-esque cobblestone base with some shells. Got a little bit of hairs all around the base. There we go. That's one dude clean. I haven't checked the black Psykers before. The patron had asked for me to kind of wait for these guys. They were still on their way. So I did. Okay. Quite a bit of support, so we gotta clean up. Don't want to break any bits that pertain to the model sculpt itself. GK on my 40 till I eat hammer. Okay. What's up, my dude? It's cracking. Hey, yesterday you were streaming your whole thing. Was that just for like the group? Was it just like for fun, just because you were bored? Or were you actually streaming on Twitch? I assume not, because it was you, like your picture. Just for the group. All right. Yeah, because I saw your cam. I was like, wait. They said that you were streaming and that they were gonna watch or something. It was Carlos who had mentioned. I was like, oh, okay, cool. It must be for his Twitch thing. I would stream on Twitch, but I'm not right now. Cupcake Conjure, yo, hello, welcome. Yummy plastic. More like resin, the kind that will kill you. I think plastic can go right through you eventually, right? It'll come out eventually. This resin could too, but who knows what kind of damage it will cause before it comes out. Put it in a jar. Put it in a jar. So this is, yeah, as I've mentioned, it is a 3D print. There's still a lot of supports on there. It's a whole lot easier to remove the supports once it's fresh. But this has already been cured and sent out to my patron who had commissioned me to paint this. Now I have to kind of just scrape off all the supports that have been left on there. Yummy toxic plastic, I know. I'm hoping that the person who printed these had done a very thorough job of cleaning all the resin, because it still can be relatively toxic to touch. You're not supposed to touch. And I'd say it's relatively much safer once it's primed, which is why it was the first thing I did before I started removing things. So I hope I don't die from touching so much plastic. Who knows? Time will tell. We got some crazy Psykers. He's got a migraine right there. He's not feeling so hot. Me after a days of work. But hey, he shoots cool lightning sparkles out of his hand. Maybe we should print models out of safer and nicer looking uranium. Uranium fever got me down in bed. Uranium fever. Reminded me of Fallout. Man, sometimes you gotta miss those metal models, right? Those really heavy onkadonks. Not fun. Just bring it outside and just spray it with the hose. Alright, so this dude has some supports that are just fused on his leg. That is not cool. A small amount is fine, but you should always clean resin in warm soapy water before priming, gluing, and handling. And it's advisable to wear gloves and work in a ventilated area. Right, so I do 3D printing of my own. I have plenty of models of my own, and that's exactly it. In fact, I have even the printer inside a greenhouse kind of enclosure, a really small indoors enclosure. It has an aluminum fabric within, layered by another plastic, and then the outer fabric that just gives it the nice kind of cloth texture. It also does have a ventilation that pulls out the toxic fumes through my window. It's a whole process. I've invested quite a bit so that it stays safe in the area I'm working. So that's just the fumes. The fumes have been said to be quite unsafe to inhale for long periods of time, especially in a very unventilated area, which my place tends to sometimes be because it's a very hot place, so all of the stuff kind of just sticks around. Now, the same nitrile gloves are recommended for 3D printing. Make sure we're not touching those with our bare hands, because once it's out and you do give it a good rinsing with isopropyl alcohol, it still can have remaining resin stuck to the model. So you do not want to touch it still, even after it's been given a thorough wash. And I at least for my customers, I tend to give them 2 washes, and after the wash, I also do exactly that. I give them a nice soapy bath. They take a little shower in warm water, and then I pull them off the supports after the warm water bath. It's so much easier for some reason. I'm not really sure what's the science that happens within the supports kind of just popping off, but they do just come off a little easier when it's in warm water. So the fact that this person didn't even bother cleaning the stuff means they're kind of just like spewing these out and then throwing them out to their customer base. And I understand that, especially because you're printing so much, and if it's a business, you don't have time to really do exactly this, what I'm doing, which is scraping off the supports that they have. So you kind of just throw it at the customer the way it is. Oh hell yeah, it's Skyrim music. So the artists are Beats and Bits, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, Bits and Hits. I'm sorry, I always mix it up. It's in the description if you guys are down. It is free use music. As long as you give them credit, they are totally chill. Check them out. It's in the description. When you're making content, sometimes you want something to vibe with in the background that's kind of nice, and it's free of use. So I was like, well, is there like, you know, kind of homebrewed music for like the games I like playing? And sure enough, this channel has almost about everything I enjoy. I want to find some more music that is, of course, safe to use. I do want to grow my stuff here, so I got to keep on looking. I think there was like music IO or something IO. It's been a while since I've looked it up. I know that they had a paid membership where you can kind of just use the royalty-free stuff that they make on their site, and it's just thousands of music clips and stuff. You do have to compile and put it together before you play it, but hey, pretty good. Because sometimes you get a little tired of the lo-fi kind of vibe. I myself get tired of it, so I'll look into that. Cupcake. Resin becomes very malleable when heated, so it's possible the hot water weakens the threads. Yeah, most likely. Plan painting my miniatures in Windhelm. To hell with the Dark Elves segregation. Like myself some dwarven constructs. Those are always fun. It's been a while since I played any of the Skyrim, any of the thingamajigs. Last I played was the Morrowind thing, the multiplayer one, and I was quite disappointed with the low quality back on the one. I played it on the one. Not sure if it was anywhere else. Come on, little support. Oh, come on, everyone knows Wilhelm. It's where the Dark Elves racism happens. I'll be honest, I'm not crazy into the Warhammer, the Skyrim lore and such. I played the games every so often because it was just a popular thing back in the day when it first came out. I've tried so many times to play it, but my potato PC just wasn't able to. I do want to eventually get up and running some just like diverse content. It's mostly for myself. I paint and do all this on my own free time and volition, so it's just like, may as well stream it. But same with games, right? Like, I haven't played a lot of games completely due to my poverty. But I'll get around eventually. We'll get to it. Right, so this, oh my goodness gracious, that little leaf is gonna fly off. Okay, I need to get the clipper. I heard Skyrim lore. So the lore of Skyrim starts with the first Nord. The first Nord. I'm assuming, this is just my assumption, it's all very Nordic-like, considering the style. I do understand that not all of the Skyrims were really based around that, but at least the newest one was, right? There we go, we clipped off the little flower thing. Probably gonna do it for the rest of them. But yeah, I don't really get that whole elf racism thing. I know lots of Warhammer, lots and lots. I've done it all. I've read lots of books. I've dived into the minis. I play all their freaking game modes. I've tried it all, not intensively, but very deep in it, deep in the Warhammers. These Skyrim experts call them the Elder Scroll games. Ooh, okie dokes. All right, all right. I call them the Bethesda games. Yes. Oh. The game series is actually called the Elder Scrolls. Skyrim is Elder Scrolls 5. Right, right. Okay. The Elder Scrolls. That sounds cooler. Is Skyrim just the name of like some dude or something? Is it? I think it's like just the legend, isn't it? All right, so I think I got all the supports on this fella. No, I see a little more here. Not so sure. That thing is really embedded. Oh, okay. Good afternoon. What are you up to? I am painting one of our local patrons' commissions. This is 3 Psykers. He wants me to do them in base coat, shade, and I'm just gonna throw in a few more details just because he's a cool dude. And for the Grandmaster Psyker here, the one with the cooler cape, is going to be painted with much more details, including highlights and etc. Skyrim is the region. Like, imagine a game happening in France called France. The game, France. Each of the games is named after the country it takes place in. Skyrim is a country. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, never would have known. It's one of those games when I was really young. I would play on the potato PC, and I was pulled away from it because my computer just couldn't handle it, and I would always play the intro multiple times, and I would always make it, and I remember distinctly, I would always make it to the little village, the first village with like the palace up on the hill. I would always listen to the dude out, but as a kid, I was so unintrigued by all the dialogue. I low-key just got disinterested multiple times. I would just run off and find whatever to kill and whatnot, so maybe now that I'm much older, I can probably sit down through it and really try to invest myself into the story. But yeah, Jorge, it's nice hearing you, dude. It's been a while. Hopefully all things are good. I know you had your kid. It's been such a wonderful news, right? It takes up all your time. I know it leaves very little for the hobby, but I do appreciate you coming back, man. We got Andrew, who's consistently begging everyone to join him in 30k, but no one has the amount of space marine or tanks to do so. He wants me to just throw in my Kriegsmen, but it kind of just throws me off. It's also like mass amounts of infantry and tanks, which is something I don't have with my Krieg. I'm kind of in the middle. That's where I'm at. Once I finish this commission, it's going to be also Solar Leontis for the same person who's commissioning, and I'm going to work on my 2 box sets of Krieg armies that just released. Yeah, I imagine, Jorge. They have horses now. Yeah, he's trying to get me to play because I have 30k but don't have much time. Yeah, that's what I was telling him, but he's frothing at the mouth that with the illusion that people are going to play 30k with him. I don't know what gives him the idea. You managed to get 2? Yes, I did. I got 2 Death Core of Krieg core sets. If you look at my Instagram, I have my Kriegsman on display there. It should be under my account thing. Let me double check. I've just started this channel. I've had the account for quite some years, and I haven't really dedicated much time into polishing the works around. I kind of just do this again as a record for the people I get commissioned from, so they can be entertained by just a little more, and just to work a little bit on online presence. But let me double check. Yeah, okay, there it is. I do have my Instagram linked there. You struggled to get even 1. Are you doing Deathcore Krieg? Other fellow gas mask breathing person? I got 2 of them. I was heavily debating getting 3 only because of the horses, but I had no reason to have 3 Marshal Dreers, 3 of the artillery pieces, which I've been quite disappointed with the stats. The engineers are great, but I just felt so off having an odd number of, you know, because I like running full squads. I like to have the capability, but I said, nah, 3 was just a little too much. It was a little overkill. You could type the link to your Insta here and comments. I'm converting them into Black Templar serfs. Krieg into Black Templar serfs. Huh, okay. That's nice. Are you gonna keep the gas mask and everything and just change the color scheme, or are you gonna kit bash those dudes? These guys a little nice shake. Alright, let's inspect these guys. We could use a prime from below. My friend didn't do a good job of priming from below. No support, no cleaning. These guys look nice. All right. Uh-oh, one of the little laces kind of went undone there. I don't know what happened there. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I swear. Okay. We'll convert Bridget into Black Templar if she could. I was watching your stream a bit. I was going on and off. I don't like bringing in my personal life on here, but there was kind of a mishap. A pet just passed away this morning, and I had to put it in the ground, so it was quite a turmoil. But I was listening here and there. I was kind of exploring, trying to keep distracted, and I said, you know what, I gotta work on something while I do this. And I heard you like Templars. I really wanted to work on some Imperial Fist stuff, and I never pulled the trigger, even though a lot of box sets like Indominus came with Space Marines and stuff. I decided, you know what, I gotta focus on one army at a time. Albeit I have a lot already. I have way too much plastic. I just let go of them. But originally it was going to be Imperial Fists and Black Templars, and it was all thanks to flash kits and their animations. I thought they were just the coolest things ever. And once I started to work on a custom kill team I had done for the Black Templars, I said, I'm good. I don't want to play black. It just didn't captivate me. Yellow was also a struggle. And considering I'm willing to learn a lot of these things for projects and such, and I've practiced at least a little bit of everything, doing full armies, I'll pass. I noticed one of the things I'm constantly painting is the color blue and white, mostly because I do have a lot of Star Wars Legion as well. I have a lot of clone troopers, and the airbrush has done miracles in doing so. So there's a chance I could go back and try some more Imperials. The Templars are a long forgotten dream. Army Painter has a great yellow paint selection. I found it very easy to use. Nice. I've been trying to use a lot of Vallejo. I do like how thick they tend to be. Some of them act more like a paste in a weird way. It stretches and it doesn't thin very well. Their grays are wonderful. Their new game color white was awesome. What else? I gotta say Citadel's reds are so far my favorite. You're pointing out all my issues. I'm focusing on many armies, painting lots of yellows and whites. Oh lord. You feel my pain. There you go. I'm dabbling in some pro acryl. Doing some pro acryl, seeing how they work. They remind me of Vallejo in a way. They have a lot of pigmentation, really easy to thin, and has great coverage. So far, I am very pleased with their paint. I did get their fluorescence just because I didn't have a good fluorescent and I wanted to try it out. But as any fluorescent, I find they're so hard to cover, and it's more about the effect, the glow effect that it can give when it's under lighting, that it does its job. But none have so far had any good coverage, and I'm not sure if I'm just the dum-dum who doesn't realize that's what fluorescents are supposed to be, which is a glaze maybe, right? But I consistently try. If you look under the Instagram, I do have the 1,000 Suns that I painted for a friend, and I use a fluorescence through an airbrush with first a white undercoat and then just fiddled with the color, and it was fine. what's it called? Magnus as well was painted with the fluorescent colors. Through the brush, it's fine as long as there's a very light undertone, but the moment you put it on anything remotely dark, it starts to have problems. I'm using the Warpaint Fanatic lines, but I got Vallejo special effects. Yeah, I got some of the, I'm not sure, is this Army Painter? I don't, yeah, it is. Oh my goodness gracious. It says right there. But I got the new Halo one. I got the set. I wanted to kind of work on those too. Pretty good, I gotta admit. They're really nice. I like their dropper bottles too. I got these Amazon ones for a while just to switch out all my Vallejo, not Vallejo, my Citadel paints into the dropper bottles I bought from Amazon, and these dropper bottles are terrible. They're not great quality. So far, my favorite have been Vallejo's droppers, which is another plus to using their paints. But the new game color droppers have like a much thinner kind of plastic container, and it feels a little flimsier. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I find myself squeezing out a little too much paint when I don't need as much. Did he even know they had a Halo line? Yeah, they have some new Halo paints. I'm not sure if they're strictly for Halo, but I got the one that came with Master Chief and all the starter paints with that. I've tested out their gray. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Yeah, it's an official Citadel water cup. It's battered and used. By the way, the focus is on purpose. I don't have the greatest of cameras. I do have it on manual focus, so whatever comes up close tends to be the case for what I'm working with, and yeah, it just has a lot of trouble focusing. I like the war paints. Have 2 steel balls already inside. Hell yeah. They're a really great option for a cheap paint that does come up to the quality of Citadel. The biggest official Citadel water pot fan. It is a great cup. The grooves at the bottom are lovely. I just, after painting for going 6 years, it is something to be wary of, but don't rub against the very bottom of the grills a little too hard. You will mess up the hairs in the brush at the neck. Okay, so I've talked enough. We're gonna give first prime. Oh, it's not a prime. It's only a reuse. You gotta expand. That's great. If anything, that's really difficult when it comes to painting, that a lot of people just are afraid to try new things. I'm amongst one of those people. I think it's just a natural thing to undergo, but you realize that every paint company has their strengths, and that's usually in the form of either the dropper bottle or the strength in certain colors. When you diversify, you find the best of every world. Five, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Very big Citadel fan. There you go. Don't know how thick this paint's gonna go through, but we'll find out. So we're putting the thinner first before the paint so that it doesn't stick onto the needle. Then we're putting a higher amount of thinner to the proportion of paint. And wick off most of that. Dry off here. Cover the lid so it doesn't dry out my paint. And we are going to work on making the undercoat for the dudes. Okay. If it's a little too loud, let me know. I have not streamed with the airbrush on my new setup. Do you also have Citadel Survival School paint palette? No, I don't. I have not gotten a hold of that. And I probably should, considering I do a lot of dry colors, like Vallejo's metal colors are amazing steels. It easily replaced my lead belcher, and I used to be a mega fan of lead belcher, but once I got a hold of these and learned to use it on a dry palette, definitely might get the little skull just for those. I can see the thing picking up on the audio. I'm not sure how loud that's going to be. The goal is getting the gray under the coat. That way the darkest color down there is already primarily made. That way I don't have to stick a brush under the robe. So I had mentioned before, considering I have a few new people here, I do have the codex for the new Astra Militarum, and I was really hoping for some more in-depth lore about the new stuff that came out. And just like every other codex that's come out, I find there's a lack of new lore inside the codex. And I know it should be well known if you've been in Warhammer for quite some time that they're not the primary method of storytelling. It's more of a general introduction for the new people, but you'd hope it would have at least a few pages of like, hey, this is what's new with whatever faction is kind of taking place and so forth. They do give Leontis a little bit of a spotlight, but the Krieg only had about, what, 4 pages, and it's just a regurgitation of like old lore without any detail. It was quite sad. As a Krieg player, I was disappointed. So back to Siege of Vrax's book it is. All right, the third one. The new character has a single footnote paragraph about him. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. I thought he'd have like a little bit more of a special kind of role in wherever he's at, but it's just a blurb about how cool he is and how much he likes his horse. I thought the horse would have had like a deeper story too. I don't know. I was hoping a little more. But he's just named cool character. Love the model though, really do. I'm ready to pick up the command squad also this coming Saturday. I am crazy for my Krieg. All right. Give the needle a nice little cleanup. I'm trying not to figure out how to convert and proxy him. Into Black Templar. Just stick a Primaris Templar helmet on him. That'll be good, right? That's all you need. No, into a Black Templar. Yeah, that's fine. Give him the champion, you know, the champion sword. Just like rip it off the champion and just stick it on his hand instead of the little saber that he has. Just to make it very pronounced he's a Templar and they love their broadswords. Oh man, I'm just thinking now about the plastic models. It's so many. Black Templar serfs are like guardsmen who serve the Black Templars and work alongside them. Still guardsmen, but going for a knightly crusader aesthetic. Yep. Indeed. They remind me of the Watchers or the Dark Angels. It's not the same. The Watchers are mystical people, supposedly. All right, Jorge. Catch you later, dude. It was nice having you here. Thank you for stopping by. Aren't the Watchers technically Xenos? So, from what I understood, yes, because they look weird under the coat, supposedly. Like, they're not human-like. I'm surprised they even have them around, considering, you know, the Dark Angels, but they're cosmic entities, supposedly. They're like, what are they, like premonitions to like the future and such? I don't know. From what I understood, they remind me of, like, you know, those seers from Hercules that tell you this what's to happen and whatnot. From what I understand, that's the only reason he has them there. Take care of their stuff. Exotic nannies, butlers and such. That's what I say. As a Kriegsman, I do not suffer them to live. Alright, so it looks like I'm getting a lot of clogs. Too much of the paint ratio over the thinner. But I kind of just want to let it go. Just realized that the bases are also 3D printed. Huh. It's possible they are left over from old lore from the Chaos Gods or reposed by the gods of law? That's new. I don't know what that is. The gods of law. There's always something to learn in Warhammer. I consider myself quite new to the hobby and the lore, considering it's nothing more than what I do every day, you know. So if I know I'm missing lots of lore, there's always something to learn. When I get around painting my Psykers, I'm definitely going to add some effects, fireballs and whatnot being thrown about. This person wants it very simple, so we're going to just keep it towards just painting it. It's just ancient lore from early days of Warhammer. Might only be a fantasy thing though. Ooh. Definitely want to get into the old world lore. I feel that's my calling. There's plenty of people who do 40k, and I find not so many doing the old world, which is my favorite setting because Age of Sigmar is a little just too high fantasy for my taste. I want to dive into doing some deep dives on certain factions just to introduce people about it, make some short videos on it, like the shorts. That's what I was looking for, the shorts. Oh my gosh. Doing some regular videos content wise and some animatics and stuff. Definitely want to work on doing those. Okay, so this guy has a 32. I'm also constantly looking for anyone who wants to do podcasting with me. No one seems to be interested when I do bring it up. I'm like, okay, I mean, it's a commitment, understandably. But if you find time to schedule around doing it, it's always possible. No excuses. Until a legitimate one comes up. Aha. It would be a good idea to read some of the Warhammer community posts about Old World because they have been updating and changing the lore of fantasy. I think it is cool. I do think so too. Got a lot of Skaven. I'm starting my Wood Elves. I want to deep into other factions as well for the Old World. I started during the end times lore, so I'm much more inclined towards that setting than that of the Old World. The Old World I frankly don't know too much about. I do have the books and such, but I haven't given that a read. But I want to start with the factions that I enjoy, and for me it's the Skaven and the Wood Elves. Right. Take all that gunk out of the brush. We're swapping to the next color. They're cool. Neither of them I know a great deal of lore about. I know the Empire of Man, some of the Chaos and Orcs and Goblins. There you go. You'd be a prime target for the stuff I'm trying to do. Widen your perspective. Dive deep. Learn. Because there's a lot of factions I wouldn't say I'm very into, but then you work on commissions and such, and you can't help but say, hey, this is really cool experience. I want to see what else there is, right? Because there's only so far you can dive deep into for certain specific factions, especially if they're new, right? Like, Cathay is around the corner, supposedly, and they have a book that they're writing about him, the Codex, the tome, not the Codex. And I'm going to guess that it's also going to have surface level information, just like all the other codexes that have appeared. Right, so it's all about the novels and stuff. I'd give those a read and hopefully dive deep into, try to find a timeline and explain where it takes place and such. I do miss myself some Voldemort. Some Voldemort. Cool lad. Cool lad. This stuff isn't flowing as much as it was ever since the hack. Alright. This paint's about to run out, so all in. I'm gonna get a new one either way. Plus, Dawnstone's really, really thin. Nope, almost forgot the cap. No, no, no. Okay. Perfect. Well, it is late, so I will have to say goodnight. Been a great stream. Hope it continues that way. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be keeping an eye out on your stuff as well. Real lovely stuff. And thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye. I will continue. Not for long. I just planned to do the basics for the airbrushing and so forth. And once that's over, I am going to call it quits here, because I got things to do. Gotta work on getting that good focus thing down in my brain. Not used to it. Get that nice zenithal highlight. Nice. Good enough. All right. Okay. Subtle. Subtle, subtle. I'm looking for subtle. Oh, I'm not looking forward to the black ones. I know that's going to be hard to cover. Here we go. Throwing paint all over the place. I love it. I love it. The world is yours to paint. Right. Here goes the first black one. Oh boy. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, that's actually pretty good. It's not so bad. Ooh. I like it. There you go. Yeah, match with your friends. You're not so different. If that's what you wanted, then sorry, I guess. Sorry, buddy. You just one in billions of Psykers who are going to be sacrificed for the Imperium of Man. You weren't special. Well, you kind of are, but you know, not that special. All right. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Turn around. Last dude for the light gray on top. The white is the part that's going to take the most time. I'm going to be hitting the most raised areas of the model itself so that there's a vivid and noticeable light hitting it. And once I do that, I'm gonna whack this thing with some contrast, just a little bit, just to give it a taste, just a flare. And we are going to highlight that one more time. Yeah. Let's just run out of the light gray. I'm not sure if I want to make the transition from this color to white just yet. I think it's a little too dark still. So we're gonna pull out my non-transferred pot. Unfortunately, I have not done that yet. And I don't frankly feel like doing it right now. So we are going to keep moving on. We're going to clean out the tub so we can switch out the color. Nice tub. And another dry gunk gets back inside there. And we are going to switch to the next color. I wasn't planning for the lighter gray, but why not? It'll make the transition so much nicer. Okay, do it about 3 times, repeat it, so that nothing gets in there. These airbrushes are so sensitive to clogs. Any small dry pigment can clog up the whole airbrush. Quite annoying. There we go, switch that out. Okay, I have not once put any paint from a pot in my brush. I've done it through a dropper this whole time and it's been quite nice, but this is going to be something new. So we're gonna put enough here. It's not going to need too much, right? And I'm just gonna dab some from inside the pot into the brush. Oh, that should be enough. It is going to just be a highlight. Nice and thinned. Perfect for the brush. Okay. Curse you, Citadel Pots. I don't like you. Be gone. In fact, you don't even deserve to be on the screen. Aha! Love the paint, hate the pot. There we go, nice and light. Alright, so by sequence, you are next. You are the chosen! What is your wish? I wish to be free. Sorry, we can't do that. We can only grant you extra rations. Some time with your family. Just kidding, not really. And that's it. That's all you get. Pick. You got 10 seconds. If you don't, you lost your chance. Reminds you of the diabetes. Arbitrator, do something! Attention, citizen! Let's see. Up on the block. Make that booty shiny. Make sure the back is being hit. All right. Uh-oh, that was too much. Dry, dry. Right. Double dipping into that nice murky water. Okay. That's a pretty good transition, actually. I like it. All right. Ooh la la. Allah que Picasso. Okay, okay. I hope I'm not running out of paint because I'm rolling. Okay, that might have been too much there. Let's see. Clean out the brush tip one more time. Push it back a little just in case we have a clog. Wait, I hear too much air. Okay, no, we're good. Oh, I was scared we ran out of paint there. No, not the paint. All right, that's enough there. Gonna still hit the bottom at least with some Nuln oil, just so I can darken it again. I'm overspraying a little too harshly, and I'm just gonna have to fix that issue. Okay. The coats are looking pretty good. Okay, okay. Last one. Okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. The final phase. The final frontier. I want to also paint some hell divers. Yes. Por favor. Please. I'll print myself some of those. Would be nice. But I'll let them cook. You know what I mean? Them, the sculptors, because I don't sculpt. I wish I did. That'd be nice. But I do already too many hobbies. I should probably sit down and focus on a few. And then again, that's, I think, one too many. But it's Warhammer. I can't say no. What? That's what I said about Star Wars and Old World and everything else. Halo, no. Plastic crack is real. Oh, you can see all the separation at the bottom of the apothecary. Yeah, that's gonna need a solid shaking. Oh my gosh, gonna be a workout. All right, so I'm going to be working with raising the color of the most raised parts of the model, so I need to lessen the pressure of the airbrush pressure, right? So do that. Okay. And we're also going to be awfully close to it, so we gotta remove the front of the tip that already removes. The tip of the tip, you know what I mean? We gotta remove the tippity tip and put it back on so that we can get a little closer. Now, this white is notorious for drying. I'm gonna fight it. It'll be a good fight. $20 drops, and we need this enough, but not too much to the point it'll overspray. We don't want it to flow everywhere. I'm seeing 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Aha! There we go. 15 to 20. Let's see if that goes well. Because if it's too thick, it'll clog up the tip insanely fast. White just is terrible fighting with. It's terrible to work with on a brush, and it's terrible to work with on the airbrush. Who would have guessed, right? Okay. Hopefully that's enough. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. The pivotal moment. Here we go. Okay. We're going to touch up on the parts that get hit by the light most. Get those booty cheeks, honey. Okay. That's still too strong. Oh my gosh, the tip is already forming. Be gone, White. Why do you do this to me? Everybody, do you not want to be loved? Apparently not. Yeah. Considering how badly this is clogging up, the white on the tip clogging up, I'm going to have to clean it after every model. But hey, it'll be worth it. Alright. One dude! Two dudes? Alright. So, I noticed about a few months ago, and this is my first time bringing out the airbrush in a while since I did my missions, but the tip of this needle is a little curved. I don't know when that happened. I gotta switch it out, and some of that paint, because of the curve, is staying on the tip, making it even easier for it to clog up. I gotta get that as well. Don't you love buying things? Don't you love wasting money? Some say spend, but I've bought so much already. I'm wasting that money. Uh-oh. We got speckles. Eh. We'll deal with that later. Speckles, why? I didn't give enough time for it to dry. I'm getting hungry. I'm thinking about mozzarella sticks. Some good mozzarella sticks. You know, that's just an appetizer, but that's what I'm craving, okay? Do you reckon any of the old cultural food that exists from today ever makes it to the 41st millennium? Like pizza, cake. I guess Pop-Tarts. I like to imagine that the guardsmen are fed rations that look like Pop-Tarts. I don't know why. He's like, here, guardsmen, take your Pop-Tart. Your roach flavored Pop-Tart. If you're lucky, it's roach. Yum. Fun times. Okay, it's having a lot of issues pulling through. I believe in you. It could use a little more thinner. How thick it's running through. Just 5 more drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Freshen up that paint in there. Make sure it doesn't hit the edges, because hitting the edges of the cup here will pull down some of dry paint, and we want to avoid that. Just send it on the go so I don't have to swab out and waste all this. We're going to give a nice clean on the tippity tip. We're going to push that bubbles in there. Make those bubbles, 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 bubbles. That was too many bubbles. I like bubbles. Okay. Hopefully that helped a bit. Because it was starting to spray a little too hard. When you have to press back on the nozzle, and if nothing's coming out, even if you're like lightly doing so, you risk it shooting out like in a very pressurized blob, and you run the risk of spraying an insane amount on your model. You want to avoid that. All right. Don't do a flip, Psyker. That's not what you're being placed here to do. Psychic. Flip? Oh, man. This thing's clogging up real good. Clog it real good. It might be shooting a little too. Gonna raise up that pressure just a tad. Nope, it is really clogged in there. Okay, so I'm gonna give that a nice clean again. Push that right back. Clear it out. A little more pressure. Huh. That's odd. Usually, it doesn't clog up that bad. I've worked with this for many years and I'm struggling here. Probably gunk in there. Don't tell me I gotta thin it even further. Because it just instantly dries. Oh. Okay. That's not. Okay. I don't want to run too much into it, but we're gonna add just a bit more to help out because it is fighting. It is really, really fighting. I may be the dum-dum, but if someone can help after so long painting with white, I appreciate. I am willing to learn new tricks. This monkey still got new tricks in him, please. Ayúdame, por favor. I want to be very bad. In my dreams. Dang, man, that is is bad. Okay. The nozzle might be clogged already to its limit. I might have to call it quits for this batch here. I know it's wasteful, but I gotta get rid of that clog or else I'm not gonna paint whatsoever. I'm not progressing. So I'm gonna call that there. Gonna have to do a thorough clean out. It might just be a bunch of gunk inside the nozzle that's preventing it, since I've only switched out and not cleaned the needle. So let's go ahead and do that. Because I keep on adding more, but me being stupid doesn't realize, huh, you haven't cleaned out the needle whatsoever through the whole session. So yeah, I'm realizing that right now. Pretty sure that's gonna fix it. I'm like 100% sure. Oh, cleaning. Okay, so yeah, it's having struggle even pushing back, which means it's a pretty bad clog. Right, so look, I'm making milk. That sounded wrong. In so many ways. Bubbles. I like bubbles. Okay. Remove the back. Put on. Remove the needle. Put on. And now we clean the needle. Chan. And use some isopropyl. Get a really nice deep clean in there. Make sure that the needle isn't gunked up either. Very unlikely, but I just pass it through just in case. Okay, the needle should be Gucci. Now this is the part where I'm positive it's going to need deep cleaning. We're going to pass through some of the isopropyl to just get that really deep scrub. I'm going to use my airbrush brush. Get that real good. Oh wow, it is coming out a different color. That's not supposed to be like that. Get it real good. Okay. Alright. Gonna get that gunk out. Flush some water, squirt it through into the nozzle so that shoots out the nozzle. I'm gonna do it. And let's see. Whoa! There we go. Good action right there. Got some nice action going. So we're gonna make sure that there is no blockage. I'm gonna leave that in there. I'm gonna push back on the airbrush just a bit. Let the bubbles help clean. Fish out all the gunk. Bubbles our friend. I remember the scene in Adventure Time where Bimo finds its love. There's a bubble. Spoilers, I guess. Gonna say it now. Spoilers. Yeah, the bubble dies in the end. Bimo like gets engaged with the bubble and then boop, dead. And then the worst part is Jake's just like Jake, the main character, just like, oh look, a bubble, and he pops it after it engages. So sad. Okay, I'm seeing that the needle isn't pushing all the way through, so the blockage might be a lot worse than I thought, which means I'm gonna have to go even deeper. Aha! That's also a video game. Okay. This isn't so bad. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the tip here. We're gonna unscrew it, make sure it doesn't fall. I've actually lost this tip before. So sure that doesn't fall anywhere. We're gonna pull out this needle specified for doing this exact problem I'm having. And since I haven't used it for a while, it could use this clearage, right? So we're gonna clear out the nozzle. We're gonna push it through. So this is the nozzle up here. We're putting a needle through it. The needle itself is like a half semicircle kind of shape, and it helps scrape off whatever's inside. Right, so all I'm doing is I'm twisting the needle within the thing. You can see a little reflection kind of spinning. And we're trying to just clear out the needle itself. We're going to put this back on. Little screw. We got a little screw bit here. We're going to put the needle back inside. Back on. I tried doing it with my fingers, with my massive hands. And I just ended up losing the piece when it flew off. So I got this little screw that does the little pinching for me, because not again. And that little nozzle cost $13. No thanks. That was too much of an expensive little mistake. For that piece, that is. So now we're going to go ahead and shoot the isopropyl through it, so I can push out any small blockage. Oh, I'll be honest, that made it worse. Okay. Something's off here. I've seen how far the needle pushes through, and it is not pushing all the way through. So, there is a serious blockage in there. I don't know what it is. And I don't remember if I cleaned it before. I let it sit for 6 months, for like 4 months. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not good, not good. Alright, so water is pushing through. The needle is weird. Why is the needle not pushing all the way through? Is my... Okay. Well, the water goes through. Maybe it's just the needle. No problem. So... Okay. Needle didn't even go through whatsoever. Oh no, I see gunk in there. Oh shoot, I can see the gunk in there. Alright, so the gunk did not come out. Yeah, there is a massive block in there from who knows how many times I have not cleaned the needle before. Maintenance is key for these things, and I neglected it. So, back to the front needle we go. You see, this is what sucks about airbrushing. Sometimes I just wish I did it manually. But here we are. Maybe here might help. Alright, that went right through. With the aid of that. So I'm going to push it back with the water. See if that helps a little bit. Make a little bit of a mess. It's okay. As long as we get the blockage out, that's all that matters. Man, that felt awfully... That felt awful. Wow, I have not had that before. You can clearly see the needle sticking out a little further. That's a good thing. the needle's supposed to come out all the way, and the airbrush needle was not going through, and I felt there was some resistance. So we got that cleared. And I'm just a little concerned that the nozzle was a little expanded because of it. And if not, we can always buy a new one. Another $13. I'm not stingy. It's just, if it happens too often, it adds up. A lot of things add up in the hobby. Oh man, I don't even want to think about how much I spent in this hobby already. Last I thought about it, it's in the thousands. Probably. Oh Lord, I can see the needle. Oh Lord. Yep, that's what it was. It was just a really bad blockage. Look, you can see it now. Ta-da! Okay. Problem solved. Back to painting. Oh my gosh, that was really bad. We got the clog, guys. We did it. We got him. It was very brown. It looked like poo-poo. You don't want poo-poo in your airbrush. Okay, so we're gonna help that out even further, just in case. We're gonna put the isopropyl and shoot it through the airbrush. Right here. Oh. Ta-da! That should have helped it. Now we redo that. Okay, necessary maintenance, people. Machines need maintenance. There you go. I can see the needle so much more. The needle was slightly being pushed back in, and I was seeing less and less of like the length of the needle. And considering how I've seen the needle length before, I knew something was off. I was like, yeah, I'm just avoiding the problem, which is cleaning it. And there we go. Clog solved. Now, that means I got to reduce the pressure because I was raising it, trying to force the paint through. I was trying to force it through. So now I got a really high pressure for really thin paint, which is going to shoot it out all at once. So we're going to lower the pressure again. 5 psi is fine. Yeah, that feels good. We're going to remove the front, the tip of the tip, the tippity of the tip. We're going to remove that. And we're going to redo the whole shebang. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. And we're going to do half of that. Let's do a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. There we go. That might even be too much paint, but it don't matter. Mix, 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 mix. Okay. Voila. Ah, perfect. Came out perfect. We are back, boys and girls. We are back. We're so back. Oh yeah, I can get precise shots again. Oh dang. Who would have guessed? That's all I needed. Just a really well thorough clean. I knew that. Right. There we go. That worked flawlessly. Now, I'm still going to keep scrubbing the tip so that it can avoid culminating so much. So we don't have to do such an extensive clean once we're finished. And I clean my brush after every single time, typically, but I remember the last time I was trying to plow through an army, I said I could cut some of the time by not cleaning every single time in between. Sure enough, it worked for so long until now. Now, the painting lords have said, it is time, Joyous, you must clean thine brush. And I dare question the masters. And they said, Airbrush blocketh thee now. Hold on, guys, I'm losing that. The Psyker within is coming out. Witness your doom. Uh-oh. That moved inside. This guy gives me small PP energy. Don't know why, but that's what's going through my head. Small PP energy, it is. He's compensating by having those very fabulous dual capes, while his friends just get a trench coat. I'm telling you, this dude's compensating for something. Alas, we are done with the airbrushing. That is airbrushing. And now all that cleaning work we did just to clean it again. Love it. You gotta love it. Gotta love it being so wasteful. And here I said I wasn't wasteful, but the airbrush proves me a liar. Curse you, white paint. I don't want to play with you anymore. Look what you did to my hand. You said I did it myself, you say, huh? You think me a fool. Well, you're right. I am a fool. A very joyous fool, okay? Let me be. I wanna paint my creek, I wanna paint my creek, I wanna paint my creek. So I do this so I can paint my creek, I can paint my creek. I get a little money for my creek. Cause I wanna paint my creek. Why does anyone ever do such heinous things but for love? Ramp up that pressure, boy. We got some brush cleaning to do. I'm quite surprised Awito's not here. The little bro, where'd he go? Alright. Oh, we're gonna get this going. Switch out that. We're going to shoot out the needle once more. Removeth thee from thy picture. Clean the brush needle once more. Some liquid. Liquid magic. I don't know how that works, but it works. It does magic. I gotta get a new needle, man. New needle, new tip. Nope, that wasn't necessary. Thank goodness. I do need a new needle. Give it to me, please. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull that gunk out. We're going to bubble clean. I don't know what would he call it. Clean with isopropyl. Because I like my bubbles. And that's all that's necessary. Put the needle forward, and there I can see the full needle again. And just in case anything's stuck inside there, I will shoot through a little bit of the ISO once more. I'm very thorough with this. Like I said, I know I'm overdoing it. I know. Some people have told me. But if it puts my mind at ease, so be it. And we're going to shoot that ISO at the higher pressure, just so we can get rid of all that nasty gunk in there. So that I know in my head, there's no more clogs, just like today, because I could have avoided the problem if I did my paranoid procedure to begin with. But I didn't, and here we are. Longer stream. Ta-da! Okay. Airbrush, how I missed you. Honestly, how I missed you. Ooh, the lid is nice and dirty. Milk. Someone hand me some cookies so I can dip it in this delicious liquid. Some Chippehoys sound nice. Give me. I will dip the cookie. Looks like a cookie. Here, give me that. Real good. Throws me back to the cookie, the real cookie I ate after finishing Magnus. A really dry cookie. Okay. I feel like I painted myself more than I did the models. Okay, begun, liquid. Alright. What's next? What is next? We clean the table. Bet. Don't want to be dirty savages. We aren't those. We are going to bring forth the palette. Oh la la la. Oh la la la. There we go. I'll make sure this brush is mighty clean, because we are going to add some contrast with this big boy. And the contrast here, don't peek. Oh god. Old paint. No. Terrible. Let's switch out this palette. I only swabbed out the water yesterday. I don't want to waste any more water than I need to. So, just the palette. Alright. Alright. How much water do we have here? We could use a bit more. Woo! Yeah. Get moist. I mean, get filled? Oh, wait. That's even worse. Get spongy. No, I'm not losing it. You're losing it. Let's see if it comes off. Give me back my nice brown tone. Let's see. Okay. Where is my lovely card from the hotel I stayed at once? I really like the design. A little dirty. Looks cool. Looks nice. Grab my new Parchmentorum. Let's see. I feel like they stick that word, that root at the very end of everything. They're like the toiletorum, where you go to the restroom. The militorum, where the military sits. The cafetorum, whether it be a coffee or a cafeteria. And empathic. They love that word too. Astropathic, you know. Oh, someone's singing outside. Who's in? Oh, we got a little dry piece of paint inside the palette. All right. Oh, that. All right. So this contrast is insanely separated. I don't have a mixer anymore. It broke. I had an orc contraption that would mix it for me. So I got some agitators at the bottom, and I'm just going to give it the old classic shaky shake. So while that's happening, hi, how's it going? How's your day going? You're chilling, vibing, watching my endeavors. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dang, that's really, really separated. It's gonna take quite a bit. The person I commissioned to do these modular trenches that I'm gonna use for the Siege of Rax campaign that I'm working towards has just malfunctioned, and he woke up to a very massive mess of just filament all over the place. very unfortunate mishap, and it's probably going to delay and cost me a little more, considering I gave him the spool to print out for me. I know he has his own, and he said he's willing to use his own, obviously, to finish off the project, but he's going to be charged an additional cost for it. He was going to discount the spool that I had given to him. But yeah, that's getting delayed. I was and will be streaming those trenches and the terrain and whatnot. We'll hopefully make some cool posts of the table once it's all finished. Gonna have another friend help out with buying a new muddy ground mat, so that if it's the no man's land theme kind of, you know, battlefield. Gonna work on that. We have my full 143rd Siege Regiment of Krieg, since it is my top dog. My friend is going to play his Alpha Legion, and he's gonna make thematic Alpha Legion Trader Guard to kind of just sprinkle in with the theme of the campaign. Lots and lots of campaigning stuff. We are going to use one-page rules for this campaign. We really are enjoying having advanced rules for it. We incorporate the extra actions, stratagems, the boost actions, and what else? We used to play with suppression in one-page rules, but we found it was unnecessary for the game, and it was a little punishing for our taste. But we do have all those advanced rules inside. After all that, that's what we got. I'm gonna give it another 30 seconds of mixing so that we have a good ratio. Not to mention it's letting the models dry a little longer, so that's a good thing. We will add that. Wait, that reminds me, I need my contrast medium so that I can tone down the color just a little. We don't want to add a very strong coat of apothecary white, because it is naturally very grayish. It's supposed to be the recesses. I want to make the difference. There we go. See, it says white, but that's gray, isn't it? It looks nice and grimy, which is the goal. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And after that, it's going to dry just for a tad more, and we will layer the some thinned out white for the very top surfaces of all the coats. So we add, how many are there? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I go by drop. I say that's about what it takes to cover a full coat, since it's pretty big. And we're gonna match the medium with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Voila. Okay. Let's use my favorite contrast brush. This brush has been so overly used, it doesn't have really a point anymore. It doesn't have a point. It's kind of like rounded off. It's actually really nice for applying contrast. It helps it pull even further. So let's grab the guy furthest from the conga line, and he's gonna cha-cha real smooth. Gonna mix that contrast medium and contrast with the wet palette, which has some water, so it helps a little too in this arid desert that I'm in. And we will start applying from the top. All right there, Mr. Psyker. Hope your migraine's not so bad anymore. Oh, it still is? I'm sorry. There we go. Now that I'm not airbrushing, it should be a little easier to also focus on keeping the model on focus. I'm gonna stop moving so much. I'm like a kid with too much energy. Child, hold still. There we go. Gonna unify all the airbrushing that we did. Gonna make it easier to work with. Nice, good pooling action there. Next one. Okay. We're gonna start from his white clothing. I'm assuming these are trench coats, considering how they're open from the front. So we're painting the arms and sleeves as if it's part of the trench coat. So the contrast does that very nicely. We're going to tone down this color just a little bit. And when we hit it back with the layer line, layer highlight, I mean, it'll look real good. This is just to darken a little bit of all the really bright surfaces, and also so that it finds one unison color. That way the darks don't pop out too much. There we go. And I can already see the other Psyker that I just painted. Once it's applied, it looks like it's kind of just dulling it all down into one same color soup, but when it dries, it pools at the very bottom of the recesses, and it leaves the surface as bright as it once was, leaving the illusion of like darker recesses. So like this guy should be a great example of that, and it should pull relatively well. I did a similar technique with Magnus, and it turned out pretty nice. I was pleased with it. Yeah, like this guy's coat is wide open in the front. He chose not to take his protective armor. He's just braving it out. I was gonna say the word raw dogging, but then I was told that's not a good word to use. I was like, oh, I heard someone else use it, and they're like, yeah, they're probably misusing it too. And I found out what it really meant. I was like, haha, that is definitely not what I meant. And I've heard other people say that they've had the same situation. They're like, oh, I'm just raw dogging it. And it's like, wait, what? Don't say that. Don't do that unless that's exactly what you mean. All right. I'm realizing these Psykers have different base sizes for each one of them. Wonder if my friend here knows. And this guy has a smirk on his face. He's ready to turn someone into liquid soup. Not very nice, dude. That's what that looks like his mission. He's about to turn you into liquid soup. Okay. Breezing through these. Gonna clean out the brush. Make sure none of the dry pigmentation gets on the model. Top to bottom. The arms. The back. Got some exposed in the front. Okay, we work on the trench now. Trench coat, I mean. Awito, where are you? I'm surprised. He did stay up a little later. We were playing this game called Minute of Islands. It was a fun play. Really reminds me of Adventure Time, which is the reason why I got the game. The art style was very reminiscent of it. So we played through that, and it was a fun story. It is platformer puzzle-esque. I wouldn't say it's very gameplay inclined, and the puzzles aren't that abstract. They're really simple. I'd say I'd give the gameplay passable. It's not the best. It's a 5, being average, right? The story's entertaining. It's captivating. I'd give it a 6. Visually, I find it very pleasing. I'd give that an 8, just because I'm a sucker for the art style. So on average, I guess if I really just think about it in between, I'd give it a 7. 7 out of 10. Definitely could use more gameplay since it's a game, but it focuses primarily on just telling the story. It's really just like a side platformer kind of thing where you just walk and you interact, and that's about it. Puzzles here and there you interact with, the little things you can interact with to solve the puzzles, but it's not many. All right, old man. You're last. Don't you start bubbling on me. I don't want to rub on the paint too much either. Airbrush paint is very thinned out. So it's prone to rubbing off if you rub a little too hard. Gonna get his hand. Oh gosh gracious, I'm not used to staying in the small focus range, and I move like you have no idea. I'm everywhere. Everywhere all at once. Great movie. Made me cry. I'm a softie, okay? Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's the contrast on all of them. Now it's just doing the layers. There's a lot more details I want to add to it, but those will be for another time. So let's go back to the original. I can see it's still wet. Oh man, I might have applied a little too much on these dudes. But we'll start preparing the batch. We will add those layer lines. The surfaces should be fine. But we're gonna try to glaze on that white on those utmost of places. We want to make sure it reads as white, because it does to some degree, but with these it shall be much more pronounced. Uh-oh, that's a globby gloop. Move that out of the way and then get nice glaze. All right. Okay, where to go? Let's just use this one here. Grab some of water and mix it right in. We want it super thin. I'd say even one more. Perfect. So we got that very thin, and we're going to be hitting the most raised areas of the cloak. The robe. I keep switching between what it is. So we are going to pick our brush, our weapon. Choose your weapon. Something with a point. This one looks good, but there's too far. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we got my round. We got my round 2. Okay, perfect. My weapon of choice has been chosen. Going to grab as light as possible. We don't want it to run. We're going to hit most surfaced areas. Doesn't have to be very clean. Too much. You say the liquid's not supposed to be. Why? We are trying our best here. There we are. Gonna hit this edge here. Here we go. It's. I have no idea what he has on his like elbows. It's just like an elbow guard, a little piece that's in there, and it's held by leather straps. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, I was trying to figure that out for the longest time. Give that another coat. Oh. All right. There we go. The next dude. Good morning, Awito. It is time for you to appear. I've been wondering where you've been. I figured staying up late, finishing the game cost you dearly. Normally you'd be here, I don't know, about 2 o'clock my time. But you made it. Hello. Nice to have you back. Gonna finish these highlights. And that's gonna be it. Been doing this for 2 hours and a half, give or take. Really good sleep last night. Thank you. Yeah. How do you slept well? I was afraid you were gonna have nightmares from the game. I'll be honest. I was like, uh-oh. Because that was intense. It was scary. Scary Larry. Spoilers. The Giants. The betrayal. The trauma. It was very sad too. It doesn't help that we're both sensitive about these things. No spoilers. But you know, it really was. It was a tearjerker for sure. Okay. Right. Sorry about just a moment. There was someone knocking at the door. Had to go check. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Continuing forth with the highlights. Take your time. Thank you. Thank you. I start with the highlights first? No, there was a bunch of airbrushing that I had done before. I had started it with the dark tones from underneath, and then I worked up the other gray colors. And then now I'm doing the final step, which is just touching the highlights, the very tippity tips, so that it shows where the light is shining the most. All right. There we go. Being very selective about where I'm putting the extra paint. This side here looks way too pronounced, the difference from the white and the gray. So I'm probably gonna have to hit that with the apothecary one more time. Just bleed the difference. Quick work, quick work. Don't want to take too long with these either. Yeah, we just want to hit the surfaces. An exaggeration, but considering we want it to look white from a distance, that's the goal. Okay. Now we got top again. Hit that. Someone knocked on the door, right? Yeah, someone was knocking on the door. It was a friend of my brother's. Came by. My brother wanted some company, so his friend came. Okay. Almost done. I am craving the need to paint their faces just because I know it's gonna look so good. But I'm gonna restrict myself to do so the next time because I'm getting hungry. I had made some grilled cheeses with sourdough and cheese this morning. I got some lentil soup on the side that I'm going to eat with. Yummers. It'd be awesome. No, I have not eaten yet. And speaking which, worst off, I haven't drank any water. I am dry. Well, everything around me in my painting career here stays moist. I am dry. That reminded me about one video. Glue, glue, glue. Oh, thank you for saving me. I was so thirsty. Oh, the one you had sent me. A short video you had sent me a while back. Yeah, that's me right there. I'm all dry and shriveled like a raisin on the floor. Very dry. Okay. Right. Well, again, I don't have much more to add for today. I think that was more than enough. For almost 3 hours, we have gotten all of their coats ready. We shall be adding the facial stuff, the boots, and all that next time. I think that's a great place to stop. So, thank you again for everyone who's showed up. I always appreciate the love and the support, especially from close friends of mine, new people who've come to watch, and of course patrons who do business with me. Really do appreciate it. This is all possible thanks to you guys, because it keeps me motivated to keep coming back. So, from the bottom of my heart, again, thank you. And bye-bye. That's it for today. Quack, quack.